heard that in a long time, have you? See, I done took you. This is what we do Black History Month 365. The mic is getting on my nerves. Anyway, welcome back to welcome back to the lounge. This is Friday night at the lounge. It's lit already. This is what happens when I'm tired. Shout out to Ron from North Philly who is listening. Oh, I'm Envy McKee. That is DJ Frosty Phoenix. Hi. So in the studio, I want to tell you, I met this artist, like virtually. She was my friend in my head for some time now, on Instagram. And this is one of the beautiful things about social media, is that you can get to know people who are in line or aligned with your loves. And you can follow them and, you know, just as long as it doesn't get weird, everybody calm down. But you can start following people and just watching their work. And I am a huge fan of art. Like, I am a museum girl to my core. I really am. Like, if you want to woo me, which my man did by taking me to the museum, like, that's what you do. That's what you do. And, you know, I have not been the collector of art that I want to be, but, you know, I was very intentional in seeking this artist out and intentionally saying, I'm beginning my collection. This is how I'm going to do it. And I feel like it's powerful. And she's powerful. She goes by Keebs. And listen, what is your Instagram?
Just Keebs. At Just Keebs.
At Just Keebs. She's so dope. I started my collection when star auntie Aretha Franklin passed. I started there. And you know, by now I should have all of them, because Octavia Butler, listen, I don't even know how to describe it, but that's why she's here. And like I mentioned, we're talking about the art of being brave. And so while this first conversation, we're really just setting the tone for the bigger conversation, I want to kind of introduce the people that are in the studio. So I'm just setting this up, you know what I'm saying, so you understand what's going on. And then we have my godmommy.
Auntie Kim.
Auntie Kim. I knew the Kim part.
I know.
But I said my godmommy, and then I was like, Mama Kim?
That's okay. I smiled anyway.
No, she did, and you saw, and you know, listen, y'all, you're going to have to just bear with me, because I mentioned earlier, I've been doing this since 7 a.m., and I got on the train this morning. That meant I had to be up at 1:30. I got on the train this morning at 3 o'clock, so I could be here in the morning. So listen, it's not all there, but we're going to have fun anyway. It's going to be fine. And so we just met.
Yes.
So that's the other thing. She's not getting a DJ name. She's just going to be Star Goddess Mommy.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
and she's here too.
Here.
Two artists.
Yes.
And Keebs brought her because you guys are working on a project together, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But so before the break, we were talking about how we came to the art of being brave. And I want to find the thing, because this all started because, oh, no. Listen, y'all gonna have to, here we go. How we got to that was Gucci. So if you are not aware, fam, Gucci has lost their mind. And they lost their mind because they created some sweater. And this is what's insane. Like, it would be one thing if they could actually, like, play. They could play like, oh, it wasn't nothing. It's a black turtleneck sweater that it reaches over the bottom. It's like a mask. Mm-hmm. It's like half sweater, half mask. And then it's got big red lips with a cutout for breathing. So they did all the things. Mm-hmm. And if you are not familiar, that was kind of the symbol of Sambo, with the big lips. It's the black. It was never like a, you know, our skin tones. There are some folks whose skin, the melanin is so rich, it looks like it could be black. But, you know, we have all of the colors, you know, so it's not even like nuanced. It's not brown. It's not blue. It's just black. And that's what they used to do. It was like, you're black. They wanted to make sure that we knew that we were black. And the lips were big, and they were always red. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, right, so it's not like it's subtle.
It's a caricature.
It's a caricature. And if you look at the, now the word is going to escape me, but it's like Americana, you know what I'm saying, the olden days stuff, it was on everything. Back in the day, because they didn't allow black performers to perform in front of white audiences, they used to have white folks in blackface to perform.
Abhorrent.
Yes. It was terrible. We were not worthy. And the part of it was, it was a whole thing. And if you've never been to the African American Museum in D.C., please take your behind there, because it breaks down some. But there are museums popping up all over the country now that are really starting to unpack and break down the historical relevance of some of this stuff. Part of the reason why this ignorance is, is so pervasive is because we don't have any real, tangible American history that includes how Africans were enslaved and then debased because slavery ended. In school, we teach something different. Mm-hmm. We make it this other thing. And so if we had a real education on the history of how Africans were enslaved and then debased, and how the KKK was able to flourish, and all of these things, what blackface truly is, people wouldn't go, blackface is bad? Because I just feel like, no, you're not that dumb. Yes. Willful ignorance is what that is. And so essentially what they did was they created a blackface sweater. And they said, oh, my bad. But what we've been talking about is how many people did that go through. How many people? You had the designer, you had the assistant designer, you had the person that did the mock-up, you had the person that drew it, you know what I'm saying? Then you had the person that did the sample. Then you had the person that said, oh, this is cute. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many people did you go through before somebody said, oh, I don't know. I feel like that represents something that's not going to be cool.
Mm-hmm. It's intentional.
I believe
in this climate of today, it's intentional.
Yes. Put your mic.
I mean, they are also a European company, but regardless.
Ma'am. Gucci has partnered with Dapper Dan. From Harlem. And you're from Harlem.
I am from Harlem. He called them out today. They had a meeting.
He did.
Apparently. I don't know why they had a meeting. I don't understand the purpose of that. But, yeah, it's backwards. And it's
he
absurd.
had a meeting because he uses Gucci in his designs, and he was like,
But also, I mean, it seems like it's absurd. It's absurd because he is not necessarily employed by Gucci. He's not employed by Gucci.
That's right. But he has an atelier that Gucci sponsors.
They underwrote it.
Yeah.
Right. Because they were using his designs in, like, whatever.
Listen, that's a whole other thing. And lots of folks don't know who Dapper Dan is, but Dapper Dan is one of the fashion founders of we'll say fashion founders in hip hop. And we're going to talk about him in one of the future Black Artist Story 365. We're going to talk about black designers that were prolific, you know, because that's what it's about. But we're not there yet.
Yeah. What I'm saying, he doesn't owe them anything. And
no,
he shouldn't
of course
have
not.
to call them out. Regardless of his affiliation with
but
them. I'm
glad that he did, because I feel like, and you know what else? What's the dude's name? Floyd Mayweather. Did you hear about that? Floyd. Okay, so Floyd Mayweather, like, so I have to talk in this tone because Floyd Mayweather likes Gucci apparently, and so he doubled down. People were like, "Stop wearing Gucci. We're boycotting Gucci." Gucci.
Same thing. Yeah, I was going to say same thing.
So he was like, well, I'm still wearing my Gucci, right? And then 50 Cent came back at him, and then 50 Cent took a picture of Floyd Mayweather, and then he kind of basically drew marker and made it like a thing with the red lips, and it was the thing. Because 50 is shady. But, you know, and we all understand also that Floyd, we're not going to, listen. All skin folk ain't kin folk.
Hello.
So that's what's going on here. And so I thought what was very interesting and powerful, because I feel like this, you know, this is wonderful. I love, you know, having a good rant every now and again. It's fun for people to be able to connect by pointing to the thing and say, this thing sucks. But I also am a fan of what will we have instead? Because we can do a whole show on how whack Gucci is for doing that. But the larger problem is Gucci's not the only one. Prada did a whole keychain where they had a whole person with the black and the lips and all of that. And I was like, again, how many levels of people went through before they said, and then they got to the person and said, oh, that's cute, and nobody said anything? You know what I mean? And then, you know, it takes for us to be outraged. H&M with the little boy with the monkey sweatshirt. And I'm sure they're not the only one. These are just the ones we've seen. These are the ones that reached us. And Kezia Williams from the Black Ops, I told you. Kezia, see, my name, I love you, girl. Thank you for listening. She came through and she basically said, at what point are we going to stop making the black dollar a protest dollar? And what point are we going to make it a practice?
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? At what point are we going to switch it up? Because what we've been doing is not working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We have been doing this protest thing. We're going to, I'm mad at you now, and no longer you're getting my money. We're protesting you. And meanwhile, they don't care because they got all the attention now. You know what I'm saying? We're actually paying their bills because somebody that's into that, oh, we're still doing blackface? We're still debasing black folks who spend money on these labels? Okay, I'm down. Here's my dollar. So I thought that since we're talking about the art of being brave, okay, since we're talking about the art of being brave, what is it going to take for us to be brave enough to actually get out in front of this and say no more protests? We're going to wield our buying power, and we're going to just shut it down. Like, it's not, to me, it's not even about shutting Gucci down. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like that. I feel like that's irrelevant. I feel like that is actually putting more energy toward what we don't want. It's more about uplifting the black folks who have their own labels that could use those dollars that would benefit from being on a song. Remember FUBU? When LL Cool J wore a FUBU hat in that Gap ad, FUBU took off.
Made you want one.
FUBU took off because a black man, a black hip-hop artist, decided that he was going to uplift his own. And now David Johns, he's on the Shark Tank. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when we uplift our own. Instead of, you know, Gucci is going to be Gucci. But we act like we don't have any alternatives. And so, yeah. So, my whole point in saying that was, I want to play this, I need this thing. Maybe, you know what? Let's play it when we come back. Yeah? Let's play it when we come back. And then also, I looked up, Keebs, you were talking about Killer Mike, so we talk about that when we get back to
Yeah.
No, well, come on, we have time. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Killer Mike has a show on Netflix called Trigger Warning, and the first episode is about, he attempts to live a black life for 3 days.
You did?
I saw it. It was fabulous. And it was so hard. The man couldn't even eat.
Right. So it was interesting. I think the show is ridiculous just because they turned it into a comedy, and it's not the
What? Wait, go back.
Yeah, so it's like
Trigger Warning is a comedy?
It is a comedy.
And what station is it on?
It's on Netflix. Yeah. So there's a lot of, I don't think that black people sustaining ourselves and our communities is something that,
it's tragic.
It's not something that's ever going to be uplifted in the media, because it's something that the powers that be don't want to happen.
Right.
Because we would be too powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If we ever knew our power, right?
Right.
And we spend so much on beauty care. Like years ago, it used to be, I remember when I was a child, black women bought more pantyhose than anyone else in the world.
And they didn't even have our color.
Puff of smoke was the only color. My grandmother used puff of smoke, and that was a mid-range brown color. So if you were lighter or darker, that was your only choice, or to grease
But
them
why
legs
was it-
up with some Vaseline and keep it moving.
Well, why was it called Puff of Smoke? Puff of
Why is
Smoke
blackface? Because
Listen,
it means dirt
listen.
and not attractive.
I give up. I'm out.
You know.
Goodness Lord, that's so crazy, ain't it? My phone is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That just hurt my heart. It really did. That hurts my heart. And the fact that really, we're going to go to commercial, but I want to say this. The fact that it took 2018 or 2017, when did Rihanna release her makeup line, for us to get a range of colors?
But you know what? That's been around for a while. Like, Iman has the makeup
Floyd
line.
Roberts.
Yeah.
Floyd Roberts.
Fashion
was
Fair.
Fashion Fair, not Floyd Roberts.
Fashion Fair.
Right.
Yeah, but come on, let's be honest though. Fashion Fair, even though it was they didn't have 51 colors though.
They didn't have light skin. You were lost.
And you
I
had to
remember
mix the
that.
colors.
Yes.
And I'm in the middle.
Yes.
So if I had to
Yes.
mix my colors,
Yes.
like it was a science experiment to get your color. And then it was real thick. You know what I'm saying? It was like real thick.
Theater makeup
right.
type.
It was
Yes.
like you
Yes.
had scars. You could
I
wear
remember
Fashion Fair.
that. Yeah, I remember that.
Listen, this is gonna. I can already tell this is about to be epic because the elders in the room, and I just love you.
And you got
already.
my blood pressure going up, talking about the ugliness of some of this. It's the truth.
Listen. We got Keeves and Auntie Kim in the studio. They're prolific artists. We're going to talk about their artistry at some point. But, you know, part of it, we want to talk about the art of being brave. So when we come back, we're going to do that. We're going to get to Dwayle's song. Listen. And I love you. Thank you for being here. Friday night at the lounge. My name is Envy McKee. My num is Envy McKee. That's DJ Frosty Phoenix. You're listening to 900 AM, 96.1 FM WURD. We'll be right back.
This is going to be Getting the help you need doesn't mean drastically changing your life. Always Best Care Philly in Delaware is there to give you just the amount of help you need, from a few hours a week to as many hours as you need, handling everything from light housekeeping to meals, and so much more. Don't struggle. Contact Always Best Care and see how easy it is to age in place. Call us at 267-909-9248 or visit abcphillybristol.com.
Be heard. Want another way to join the conversation? Follow us on social media using the hashtag onWURD. Be heard. Stay connected to Word Radio. Independent Black Media.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille Ijoy. Many people are running for political offices. I'll ask them, do they believe in spanking or hitting children as a way to discipline? I like an answer before I sign a petition or vote for them. It's a fair question for me. Each voter must be involved in conversations that stem the violence in the world. We can't just huff and puff about politicians that do nothing. Make a phone call or write a note or a letter. Go to places where they are and ask a direct question. Flip the script. Get involved about your concerns, things that you would like to see if they win. Just ask the question that's on your mind. Go for it. Now is the time. Don't waste it. Get involved. A new way to interact. Ask the questions on your mind and wait for the answers. A new way to interact. Let's try this one.
Hey, this is Bianca Ingram, and you are listening to The Lounge on Word Radio.
You're more than a pretty face, girl with a curvy shape. You're full of substance, you're not shallow at all. For hours we could sit and talk, yeah. I'm just about anything, from A to Z. It's crazy how you relate to me. Oh, girl, with you, I can always be myself. It's something that I've never felt. What's not to love about you? Every day I find more reasons to Looks ain't seeing you at all. That's what I'm thinking. If you want it, you can floss it, floss it. And you're not afraid to admit when you're wrong. Better yet, what about our love making marathons? Oh, good as making me wanna head straight to Tiffany's. It's like something shiny on your finger. What's not to love about you? Every day I find more reasons to. Cause your inner beauty that's always shining through. What's not to love about you? I'd be a fool to ever let you get away. Cause there ain't no one who could take your place. And you complete me so many different ways. So today I sing your praise, baby. What's not to love about you? What's not to love?
Happy birthday, Dwele. And what's not to love about Friday Night at the Lounge? My name is Evie McKee. DJ Frosty Phoenix. He's the DJ. I'm the rapper. And you can hit us up if you're interested, 215-634-8065, 866-361-0900. Have you downloaded the WURD app yet? If you were out and about, if you had the WURD app, you could just be listening wherever you go. You know what I'm saying? Because Friday Night at the Lounge is always litty. That's me trying to sound really So in the studio, we have my actual friend now, because my sister, like, you're my sister, my star sister. She's like, who are you? I don't even know you. But you don't understand. I've been following her work forever. She is a Harlem native. Her name is Keebs. She's a Harlem native. She says she's inspired by her community and fellow emerging visual and music artists. Are you a musician too?
I'm not a musician. Nope.
Well, music inspires her art. You know, some of the art that I've seen her do. She's done Octavia Butler. You've done James Baldwin. You've done the man's, and I see his face, and
Malcolm X,
Maya
Angelou,
yes,
Martin Luther King,
yes,
Audre Lorde,
yes,
Angela Davis,
yes,
Aretha Franklin,
yes,
Serena Williams, a whole bunch.
Grace Jones.
I went to Hampton, and his name is Du Bois. Yes.
Yes.
It was driving, because Du Bois Hall. It was driving me crazy because I was like, I know.
Yes.
Yeah. So she is the founder of Black Capital Coalition, which promotes both visual and performance artists from Harlem through creative collaborations between artists, businesses, and cultural institutions. And she's here in Philly in the studio. And so if you want to check her out, see how cute she is. She's so cute. We stream live on Facebook at 4WURD, WURD, YouTube, onWURD, WURD, and hashtag WURD TV. And, of course, we're on Facebook Live. And then my godmommy, Auntie Kim, is here. Kimberly Johnson, Norfleet. She's an artist, writer, oral historian, and free spirit from North Philadelphia by way of Hollywood. She writes prose and poetry and hosts community conversations centered on healing and freedom. The tapestry of her work is woven together through storytelling that explores personal triumph, pain, glory, and the love she's experienced on her sojourn as a Black woman, mother, lover, survivor, and friend. Girl, let me tell you something. Her energy is so yummy. Like, I just love this whole, like, this Black girl magic that's going on in here. So you were saying to me behind the break that, okay, so by way of Hollywood, explain how that works. You were born in North Philly, and then your family was like, bye?
I was born in North Philly, and my mother remarried from my father, and her husband was stationed in California, and I had an aunt who already lived there. Oh. So we moved first to Santa Ana, California, near the Marine base, and I went to junior high school there. I think I started 7th grade there. Later we moved to Los Angeles. So I stayed there. I had a sister with me, you know, we got grown and moved on, and I moved to Hollywood.
Yeah.
I found a job as a waitress at a soul food restaurant on Sunset Boulevard.
Nice.
And the woman that started it had all these artifacts from her ancestors who survived slavery. So they were all over the walls and this and that, and it was really a big thing for 1980, 80-ish. It was around that time. And I was a waitress. So I met Alex Haley. I lost my contact lens and his collard greens.
Nice. And he
He
crunched
was
on
under
it.
the
He was
table.
like, yeah.
Wait, he was under the table with me trying to find it. We realized it wasn't there, and he said, perhaps that's why the collard greens taste so good.
Wow.
So he autographed my book, Roots.
You just happen to have a copy of Roots in your bag?
No, we were all reading Roots. And a lot of the actors.
I'm just saying, like, Roots is a big book. Like, that's hefty. That's
absolutely.
hefty. Like, unless you lifting weights, you're not bringing Roots with you.
What it was, after I'd met him a couple times at the restaurant, I brought my book in and asked him to sign it, and he did. And he asked me also to be a waitress for his cast party for Roots after it wound up, the movie, Roots 1. So
you got to meet all the actors?
Oh, my God, yes. It was wonderful. Wow. I have a picture in my Auntie Kim's living room, a picture of me that...
Tell me, what is Auntie Kim's living room? What is this?
Auntie Kim's living room is, I wanted it to be a safe space, like your favorite aunt's house or grandmother. We don't have enough spaces that we can go before someone and talk of our trials, tribulations, and tears, and joys.
Yes.
And things that a lot of times, especially us people of color, we have intergenerational trauma.
Yes.
And things that have gone on that you're not allowed to speak of.
That's right.
Or when you ask questions, they lie to you and tell you the cutest little parts of this and that. And we don't know who each other are.
Who we are.
We don't. And if we don't know who they are, we don't know who we are. So I want it to be a safe space that you can come, any gender, I prefer people of color because we need healing. I'm not trying to heal the rest of the world, but if they jump on board, good for them.
You can be an ally, but do that over there, boo.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I wanted it to be a safe place of sharing, we have tears, I do poetry. I've been writing since I was about 12 years old. I'm a survivor of sexual abuse as a child. So I used to sit in the closet and write out my feelings, write what I felt, write out my pain. And that's carried me through my life. It's been my therapy.
Yes.
So I have tons of poetry. I think we have to call on our ancestors to help us and assist us in getting through the challenges of life. We need a toolkit that we can refer to every day when things get hard. So I also write things I call Kimisms. I wrote one for the Philadelphia Student Union group we met with, and one of the young men wants to adopt it for his school project or something senior year. It reads, they ate rocks so we could spit diamonds. So I write, oh. I'm glad you like that one.
They ate rocks so we can spit diamonds.
And if
that's a whole. Where's my T-shirt?
We gotta live that. Yeah, and I do intend to do T-shirts,
Please do.
gloves, hats,
I will support that. What we talking about?
I love it.
What we talking about? We're talking
it.
about let's support this
That's right.
movement.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
As a practice, not a protest.
No.
As a practice.
And don't we all need those type of things to get through the day, the minute, the hour sometimes?
Yeah.
And I'm about healing. I say spit it out, poop it out.
That's right.
Whatever. That's not the word I use usually, but I'm being good today.
Thank you. I appreciate it for self-editing.
Yeah. It's about healing.
Yeah.
It's about talking about the things that we have not been allowed to talk about. Nothing's off limits. Whatever.
I want to know this. When did you become so brave?
Oh, my husband passed. I lost my mother, my father, my sister, my niece, and my husband in the span of 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
So I needed to reinvent myself. I had fallen apart. I mean, curled up on the sofa where I couldn't get up. And I have tons of anxiety, and I suffer from depression. I'm challenged with depression. I don't suffer.
That's right.
I'm challenged with depression. So I want to be honest about all those things, and I want to heal them. And at 62, it never stops, you know?
When I tell you black don't crack.
That's right.
Can I tell you?
Oh, stop it. Thank you.
This woman in here is so freaking
But we do
gorgeous.
heal. But
Yes, we do.
heal. And we have to put the work in. And I don't do it by myself. I do it with my tribe, my village, like Makiba, my cousin Hakeem, who is my other life coach and curator. And we have to talk to each other. We have to admit when things aren't well, when we're falling apart.
So how did you two start working together? Because we have
I'll let her tell
Keys,
you.
who's amazing, and we have Auntie Kim. Well, listen, I'm about to sit at your feet and just be like, just talk.
Yeah.
Your show.
Thank you. I love it. Thank you.
So I'm a member at Vox Populi Gallery, and we were having a block party fundraiser. Miss Kim lives up the block from Vox, and I know Hakeem, her cousin, through activism work in Philly. So he was just walking by with Miss Kim, and I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It was like the last place I would expect to see, honestly, a black person at a Vox Populi block party.
What is Vox Populi?
It is a contemporary art gallery in Callow Hill.
Okay.
Yes.
In Callow Hill. Okay.
Is in,
Okay, I get it now.
So, yeah, and I met Miss Kim, and Hakeem and I were talking about doing projects together that focus on healing for black folks, or creating safe spaces for black folks to come in and be their true selves, and work with elders in the community and gather their wisdoms and have like an intergenerational conversation about how we get free, how we move forward. Because I think a lot of times black folks feel like we struggle by ourselves, and we don't know that there are resources within our community that we can go to, elders who have been through all of the things that we think that we're struggling with by ourselves, and can help us.
And I think part of that is what you were saying, Auntie Kim. We're going to go to break, but I want to cap this, is that our elders, like, there's something about that middle generation where they just didn't talk about stuff.
Yes. Yes.
They try to, and I'll tell you, like, I don't know anything about my mother. And I know that she's been through trauma, but she doesn't talk about it. I don't know anything. The only thing, my mom will allow somebody else to tell her story because she doesn't tell her story.
Well, that's my point. It's about,
hold that there. Okay. Hold that there. We're going to talk about it when we come back, because Jennifer Jones is on the phone. We have my cousin Allie Hickson, she's on the phone. We have all these fabulous people. The next hour, we're really going to unpack what the art of being brave looks like. You know, through our life experience, coming together and having a sister girl conversation about, you know, what does it look like? How do we, you know, navigate this world and come on the other side braver, bolder, to make some harder choices, to have greater impact, because things are moving fast. You know what I'm saying? You're listening to Friday Night at the Lounge. My name is Envy McKee. That's DJ Frosty Phoenix. 900 AM WURD. We'll be right back.
Philly, DC, and everything in between. Reality Check with Charles Ellison. Breaking down the latest in local and national news. Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. Right here on Word Radio. Across 3 venues and with over 1,400 of the world's most sought-after performers and artists, the Kimmel Center Cultural Campus is a place that fuels creativity, ignites minds, and provides inspiration. Building the city's vibrant art scene takes an extraordinary staff, and the Kimmel Center Cultural Campus has openings now. From internship opportunities to volunteer positions to careers in customer service, marketing, and even behind the scenes. Check out their current list of openings and opportunities at kimmelcenter.org.
Since 1904, Philly's top sandwich pros and homemakers have always started the exact same way, with those legendary Amoroso's rolls, baked fresh daily. Word family, put Amoroso's rolls on your shopping list for your kids' school lunches and your next family gathering. Want to make your very best sandwiches? Always start with the very best sandwich rolls. Pick them up today at your favorite supermarket or food store. Amoroso's, why Philly's sandwiches are world famous.
We first opened about 10 years ago. We were small, just a few of us, but it was exciting. I always dreamt of having my own business. It was kind of slow at first, but things started picking up. We had big plans, but in our wildest dreams, we never thought we'd have this much work. Yeah, with so many businesses caught off guard by the storm, Reed Waste Management has never been busier.
What will become of your business after a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now, before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
Getting help for addiction is not easy. Now there's a place you can turn. The Addiction Resource Center is a free tool for those suffering from substance use disorders, their loved ones, and caregivers to easily find the support they need. If you are struggling with substance use or worried about a loved one who is, find support at addictionresourcecenter.org. Again, that's addictionresourcecenter.org. Paid for by the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America.
Lifting every voice till earth and heaven ring. This is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Black Talk Media.
This is Kyle Ingram from Peyote Vision. Shout out to Jay Brown and DJ Ideal Boyfriend, and you are listening to The Lounge on WURD.
Present all around me. It's within me. It's within. That's Dr. Ricky Byers Beckwith. You know what I'm saying? From within. I let my heart begin to see the face of God. And then we're talking about being brave, the art of being brave on today's Friday Night at the Lounge. I'm Evan McKee, DJ Frosty Phoenix in the studio. We have Keeves, we have Auntie Kim. And before the break, if you were just tuning in, you're late. I don't know, what else you could be doing with your life. Like, this is like the conversation of the ages. We've been talking about, this show focuses primarily on arts and artistry. And so we interact with the world, current events, from an artist lens. That's essentially what Friday Nights at the Lounge is about. And so Keeves and Auntie Kim are doing an art installation at, it's Vox
Populi.
Vox Populi. And the installation is until when? Because I'm going.
It's over Sunday. That's our last.
This Sunday?
Yes.
So I have 2 days to get there.
2 to 6.
2 to 6. On Saturday and Sunday?
Just Sunday.
Just Sunday.
Just Sunday. But if you'd like to come by whenever you're free, I can walk you through the installation. I live up the street.
Ma'am, you just said a word right there.
Yeah.
And I will Facebook Live it. Yeah?
Absolutely.
No, it's like, this has been like one of the greatest conversations. Like, I just love your energy. And so it's not done. So now we're going to, this is the part of the show where we have our group chat. And so one of my college friends, she's from this area, but she is now a California expat. I guess that's what you call it. I don't know. She's all the way on the other side of the country. And it just so happens that my cousin Allie, she had this cushy job at Refinery 21, and she said, I'm going to work for Apple. She too went on the other side of the country. So, we got 2 California folks. They're living up. It's still daylight where they are, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So please give it up. Friday Night at the Lounge. Welcome for Jennifer Jones. She's the founder of Cocoa Buttery. Allie Hickson. She's a writer. She's a producer. She's freaking dope. Hey, Allie.
Hey, Boo.
I haven't seen you in forever. You missed Thanksgiving, girl.
I know, and it was honestly probably the saddest Thanksgiving to be so far away from our family. But
yeah, we're weird.
We're weird. It's big here for us.
We're weird. So welcome to the show. I know you two don't usually do radio, but this is your chance.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Jen.
Hey, Andy.
How are you, love?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm great, girl. I'm so glad you guys could be here.
I've been enjoying listening to you ladies for the last hour. This is so fantastic. I feel so full.
Oh, good. See? Right?
You.
And so, like, you get, since you've been listening, that, what I want to do is, take your stories now and kind of spread this out some. So, like, at what point did you decide that you were going to we'll start with you, Jen. At what point did you decide that you were going to be brave enough to start this business? Tell them the story of Cocoa Buttery Lotion.
So in a nutshell, Cocoa Buttery Lotion stemmed out of my necessity to find an all-natural alternative for my daughter's extreme eczema. So you guys all know pharmaceutical companies do something for symptoms, not for cures.
Listen.
And what I found was that every time I put something on her, it was burning her. So I had to find an all-natural alternative, and what I found was this wonderful blend of shea butter, cocoa butter, and coconut oil that now has her eczema completely blind to appearance to the naked eye. And for those that don't have eczema but have dry patches or, a skin issue, or even if you just want an all-natural moisturizer, that is what Cocoa Buttery is. And it came seriously out of necessity, and I'm praying, just asking God to show me a way to give my infant some relief. And then there it was, a Doonday Fest, and a lovely woman cracking open a shea nut that gave me some information that I would not have had I not interacted with her.
So, okay. So walk us through this process. You've been using this on your child, and she's now grown and gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
And then you said, at what point did you say, you know what, I'm going to sell this. I'm about to start a business. Because we were talking about wielding the black dollar, and you're a black business, and I want people to support you, but I also want people to understand that there are levels to this. There's a process to get there.
Yes. So there was an extreme process, but it literally was one of those things that I followed God's path. So I happened to be on social media one night. I was on this app called Convos, which is new, but it's an interactive social media where you video. And someone said, "Oh, it's Friday night, y'all turn it up." And I said, "Nah, I'm turning this butter." And I got and then I got all these inbox messages asking me what was it and could they get some and could they buy some. And I was like, "Sure, give me your address." And my husband walked in the kitchen. He was like, hold on. Don't you sell a jar before you incorporate. It's fine to make it for our friends and family, but before you give it to a stranger, you need to incorporate. And I went online, I incorporated the business on LegalZoom, and then on October 7th, 2018, Cocoa Buttery came to life. And so the first people who ever purchased any, including Envy, it was in a Tupperware container.
Right.
And then I quickly started to find BPA-free jars and how do I get it in there without it melting the jar, and then the labels and the website, and everything just kind of came in its stages. I do have a business mind. I did go to Hampton University. They taught me something.
Yes.
So I set goals for myself, and each one of the goals was a step and a stage pushing us forward. And then within 2 weeks, we sold out. And I was like, wait a minute.
Doing the
I
thing.
have something here. And you don't realize how many people have an issue until you start talking out loud about it. And I think it is important also when you believe in something and you have something that's good that you need to share it and talk about it. And the more that I shared and the more that I talked, the more people were like, wait, I know somebody who needs this, or I am a person who needs this. And the word just started spreading. And now, we're doing very well and expanding our product line.
I love it. And I've been watching her evolution, and it's beautiful. And it takes, I don't think people really understand how much bravery it takes to start a business. It doesn't matter where you are in your life. It doesn't matter how much you think you already got or whatever. When you are creating something as creatives, like everything that we put out is our baby. And so it's the worst thing in the world for somebody to tell your baby is ugly. You know what I'm saying?
Or I don't want your baby.
Or I don't want your baby. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But go ahead, Jen.
Even when first giving it to people, and I'm like, well, do you like it? And
right.
Yeah, like it was fine if I'm giving it to my daughter. Here's what this on because your mama said. But when it comes to I'm selling it to someone who I've never met in person, was never had a voice-to-voice conversation. I don't even know who you are, but you send me a video saying thank you. Or I got a message from this gentleman the other night saying, I've been suffering for 8 years trying to find something for my son, and thank God I found you. So that part is the life-changing, but it is extremely humbling to put something you create out there for other people to give their opinion.
That's right. And my daughter, she had this dry patch on her leg for years. For years. We put all different kinds of stuff on it and nothing worked. And I put this cream on, and it's some special magic that she does. This witchcraft is what it is. And she put, we did it every day. And Aubrey, to this day, does not have a dry patch on that spot on her leg. She is healed. Like, I want to put it on my whole life. And so, Allie, y'all, I'm tired. The filters, it's harder to do. So Allie, the cool part about Allie Hickson, I told you earlier, she's a producer, she's a writer, she's really, really brilliant. She's a brilliant woman, and I'm not saying that because she's my cousin and that she's kind of like the closest to me in personality. Like, I'm not saying that she's like a mini me or anything, because she's not. She's totally her own person. And, I love watching, Allie's process. She worked at Refinery 29, and if you don't know what that is, Refinery 29 is it's a magazine, but they have this great online profile, and they speak to women's issues, but they're pop culture and all that stuff. They have the 100 rooms. What is it? It's like 1,000 rooms, Allie. They do it in here.
29 rooms. Yeah.
Oh, see. I went too much. Yeah, she said you can do everything but count the money. Yeah. You are brilliant, but shh. And Allie, you can tell your story. So you got this great job, and then at some point you decided, you know what? I'm moving to California and go.
You're so funny. I had this great job, and I had been working in media for a minute. I had worked at NBC News before that, and I had really wanted, my goal was kind of, it's cool to work in these great spaces and have amazing opportunities and meet incredible people, but I always wanted to carve out a space for Black women.
Which she did. It's like, what is it, Unbothered? I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's what I did. That's exactly what I did while I was there. I like put my like blood, sweat, and tears into making this channel at Refinery 29 called Unbothered, just for Black millennial women. And it became like the fastest growing channel they ever had. It was super successful. And I was really proud of it. I'm still proud of it to this day. And
you should be, because it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and the women who still work there, like, I love them. Those are my girls. But when I finished and I took a step back, I looked at my life for like the 2 years that it took to do it, and I was like, what did it cost me? And it had cost me a lot. Like, I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't being healthy. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't sleeping right. I wasn't doing, you guys were talking about creativity and connecting with who you are creatively. And, you know, it's hereditary in our family. We're very creative. And I used to dance. I draw. I paint. I hadn't done that in 5 years. I've been so focused on trying to, like, meet this goal I created for myself in my head for my career. And it was a lot. And I just started to think, you know, I had been living in New York for 10 years. And I was like, you can't change if you don't make a change. So I just started, I like manifested it. I said to all my friends, I was like, I got to do something different. I got to get out of here. I don't know. Maybe it's a year. Maybe it's 6 months. Maybe it's 5 years. Maybe it's 10 years. But I just got to do something different with my life so that I can get back to like who I really am, taking care of myself, and like moving on to whatever the next stage of me is. And the Apple job came by luck. Like, literally.
Girl, there ain't no such thing as luck.
You're right. It's not luck, but it was meant to be. I thought it was a phishing scam. I was like,
oh, did you? What happened? What, they sent you an email or something, and it was like, Prince Hakeem wants to know if you want a job? Because they be like getting you. You be like, Prince Hakeem?
I sent them a note back being like, look, y'all really don't appreciate phishing scams. I will report you. I don't have time for this. They were like, this is Apple. Please stop.
Yeah, right. They're like, we're trying to give you money.
And it just worked out from there. And I just decided, like, this is what I needed. I'm going to make this big move.
Did you panic?
You know, you probably are the same way. I feel like once I get my mind set on something, I'm like, this is it. I'm doing it. And it's not until, like, the very last second when it's like, if I take this right now, I can't make any more changes and it's going to happen, that I get a small twinge of panic, like, ooh, if I do this right now, that's it. I'm doing it. That's it. But then, you know, actually it's funny, I talked to my mom when I had that panic.
Hi, Aunt Patty.
Like, and she said, literally, she said, you're the bravest person I know, so you can do it. So I did.
And so you've been there for, what, 6 months now? 4 months?
It's my 10th month now.
Me and numbers today just ain't. She's like, you cannot do any of it. Okay. She's like, no, you're off again. So do you love it? Like, was that the best thing that you ever did, or if this is like a stepping stone to something else?
I think it's a stepping stone, honestly, because I'm not loving San Francisco. It's no secret to anyone that I'm like, I don't really like the Bay Area very much.
How far is Oakland?
We're going to have to link up, and I'll show you the bay that you're supposed to see.
Oh, you know what? Look, see? This is Kismet. Jen, Allie, see?
That's what I need.
Yes. This is so many things.
Come over tomorrow. We'll have wine.
See what just happened?
Love it.
Amazing.
We gotta take this break though. That was perfect. That was perfect. This is God. We having God moments right here. God is a black woman. So you guys hold tight.
Manifesting. We're manifesting.
That's what. Yeah.
I almost wore that hat today. I met God. She's black. It's
the hat.
I have it. I almost wore it today.
Well, I need you to make that T-shirt. They ate rocks so we can spit diamonds. Listen. You are listening to Friday Night at the Lounge. I am MV McKee. That's DJ Frosty Phoenix. We have Auntie Kim. We have Keebs, Jen Bragg Jones. We got Allie Hickson. These are all stars now that you get to meet. And we're going to continue to talk about the art of being brave. It's WURDradio.com. We'll be right back.
Listen to Word Radio on the go with the Word Radio app. Search for WURD in your favorite app store today and take us with you wherever you go. Stay connected to Word Radio, independent black media.
I ain't no better than you, and you ain't no better than me. But we all have something in common. We all are species, seeds of God's creation.
Tune in to Messages in the Music every Friday night with Joey T, midnight to 6 a.m. right here on WURD.
Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. WURD.
Good morning, class. A quick head count. Tiffany. Here. Zach.
Yup.
Steven. Is he absent again?
For many kids, just getting to school feels like a challenge. Staying through graduation, even harder. That's where Communities in Schools comes in. We're inside schools every day, empowering at-risk kids by helping them overcome barriers that stand in the way of learning. Communities in Schools. We're in schools to help kids stay in school. See how we help all kids succeed at communitiesinschools.org.
This Black History Month vignette is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Octavius Valentine Catto was a black educator, intellectual, and civil rights activist, born in Charleston, South Carolina. He was also known for being a cricket and baseball player in 19th century Philadelphia. Catto began his education at Vaux Primary School and then Lombard Grammar School, both segregated institutions. In 1853, he entered the all-white Allentown Academy. Later, he became a student at the Institute for Colored Youth, later known as Cheney University, where he taught until his death. In addition to his other activist interests, the Civil War increased Catto's activism for abolition and equal rights. He joined with Frederick Douglass and other black leaders to form a recruitment committee to sign up black men to fight for the Union and emancipation. Acting with Douglass and the Union League, Catto helped raise 11 regiments of the United States Colored Troops in the Philadelphia area. Catto fought fearlessly for the desegregation of Philadelphia's trolley car system. His crusade for equal rights was capped in March 1869 when Pennsylvania voted to pass the 15th Amendment, which guaranteed the right to vote regardless of race. This Black History Month, we honor Octavius Valentine Catto, a voice for social change. This Black History Month vignette was brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
Or baseball, anyone?
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey now, this is Dr. Guthrie Ramsey of Musicology, and you're listening to The Lounge on Word Radio.
host. Welcome back to Friday Night at the Lounge. My name is Envy McKee. That's DJ Frosty Phoenix. Eric Nixon. He's the DJ. I'm the rapper.
That took a lot of energy.
It did. Took a lot. I need a moment. Like, y'all are not really fully grasping the magnitude of what went down today. Like 7 to 10 and 7 to 10. Like, this has been an all-day thing. The fact that I still have personality. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's what we doing? That's what we doing. That's what we doing. Okay. 215-634-8065, 866-361-0900. Also, you know, there's always the WURD app. And in the studio, we have Auntie Kim, who is my star godmama. I want to talk about what we were talking about when we were behind the break. So what happens is there needs to be, could they see all of that on URD? They could see all of it? Oh, so you guys could on Facebook and whatnot. I need all of these papers. On Facebook and YouTube and all of that, you guys got to see all the behind the scenes. The conversation does not stop. Also in the studio, we have the fantastic, excellent artist, Keeves.
Yes.
You don't understand how much I love this woman. The fact that, you know, I know that she's probably like, Emmy's a little weird. I have been following her work for some time. The fact that she's brilliant. The fact that she's in the studio, this is like, you want to talk about dreams come true. I'm like, I met my artist. Like, you want to, in my head, in my house, my dining room, I don't have my house yet, but in my dining room, I have this navy blue wall. And it could be black, since we're doing black. You know what I'm saying? And it's just got all of Keeves' art just lined up, and I'm talking Octavia on through. I got every piece.
And
so
I'm
you
envious,
sit, right?
Envy.
And you sit at this table because I hand painted this table, and it's in storage right now, but it's coming out. You know what I'm saying? Babe and I, we working it out.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? We got this gorgeous hand painted table, and we have these gorgeous chairs that sit around. And Sunday dinner. We sit around with our family and our friends, and we have these profound, prolific conversations, and we stare at the
beautiful art.
Yeah, at the art on the wall of the people that came before us, the people that inspire us, and we have the, you know what I'm saying?
Their spirits are there, honey, in that home, blessing you. Yes.
And it's you.
Yes.
You inspired that vision in me. I was like, I see this. Like, this is it. This is it. So, like, I don't want people to ever underestimate the power of your art. We do not talk enough. We talked about this morning. We diminish the value of art in this country. We do not value artists. We do not pay artists. We always like
Can I get?
Right.
Ooh, tell it. Yeah, true.
Always. It's always that. And it's like we don't value how powerful.
Or
Felicia
we challenge what the price is when you wouldn't if it was the
You wouldn't.
stores.
You wouldn't. The other thing is Felicia Rashad said that, you know, this is how you know how powerful and how foundational art and artistry is. And by the way, on the phone, y'all just have to forgive me because my brain is everywhere and I'm excited and I want to do all of the things. On the phone, we have Jen Jones. She's the founder of Cocoa Buttery Lotion. We have Allie Hickson. She's a writer. She's a producer. She works at Apple. She's all of that. She's all of that in a bag of chips. So they're joining in on this discussion too, and you guys can jump in. You know I'm crazy, so just go for it. You know what I'm saying? I will shut up. I know how I can do that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, in the scope of talking about bravery, nowadays, especially in this country, it takes a lot of courage to get up in the morning and say, I'm an artist. Because
go ahead.
No, I want you to talk, because behind the scenes, she was saying, and I'm talking about Auntie Kim, she was saying that, you know, it took me so much energy and, you know, crying and preparing just to come here to be on this show. And I was like, this is just a little show. Yeah. What you mean? Tell us.
What? It's challenging for me. All this, even me calling myself an artist, is new to me. I knew I wrote poetry my entire life. I sing a little bit. I'm eccentric. They used to call me a hippie. I still am, pretty much. You know, growing up in California and that kind of lifestyle.
Call it crunchy.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I'm old. But I hesitated even now to call myself an artist. I know I am, but it seems like, especially for our people, that's reserved for somebody else.
That's right.
You know, I'm not college educated. I haven't been doing this professionally, but I've been writing my entire life and living the same way I live now.
Yeah.
So I am an artist.
Yes, you are.
Although it's still challenging for me. I have anxiety, so I was saying to you earlier, I cried half the afternoon because I knew I had to come here. And I wasn't going to not come, but I didn't want to come. And my other curator, my cousin Hakeem, said to me, you'll be you. Once you get there, they're going to love you and you're going to love you. He said, it'll be simple. Once you get started, just start talking. You know who you are.
And you've been brilliant.
Thank you so much. And it's easy. You make it easy. And I know Keebs, like a sister, daughter, cousin, family member, so it makes it simple.
And you say what?
What do I say about what?
About she's like, listen, we got a Sag, we got an Aries, we got an Aries and a Sag. There's 2 Sages and 2 Aries.
I'm a Leo.
A Leo. We got 2 Sages, a Leo, and an Aries in this building. So it's all fire here. And the way she looked at me was like, you put me on the spot? You want to go? I'm just saying, like, as far as being an artist, I know you're the shy one in the group, but as far as being an artist, like, it's got to be doubly hard for you to go out there and be like, I'm an artist and this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times we get in our own way when we know that something is what we're supposed to be doing, and the only thing holding us back is ourselves.
It's a word.
You know, and I became a full-time artist in 2012. And it's been super hard, but it's the best decision I've ever made. And I would never, ever want to work for somebody else ever again. So just, being in control of your own life. And Miss Kim is great because she's claimed her artistry at the end of last year, and within like a couple of months was already in a gallery. You know what I mean? For 4 months, for a 4-month residency in one of the best contemporary art galleries.
But because you believed in me and put me in your gallery first.
But you had to take that step.
Yes.
I couldn't do that for you.
That's right.
You have a gallery? See,
she's amazing.
Let me tell you something. All day today, some of the most amazing people are humble bragging, dropping stuff. Like, we talked to somebody, he's like, yeah, we were in NASA. So it's like humble. Oh yeah, I have a commercial with
Twitter offices for Black History Month.
Listen,
we were just there in New York. Are you kidding me? And this artwork is, she didn't tell you that?
Nothing.
Oh, stop it. We just left New York. They have all the paintings you have. They're displaying them. Front offices of Twitter for Black History Month. And it is so beautiful.
See?
That's right, 'cause it is a black wall also.
It's a black
Oh, my
took my whole idea, Freeman.
Well, I'm glad I'm here to sing her praises because she's too shy. And she was like that at Twitter. Don't be humble. You're brilliant.
And what about you guys? Jen, Allie?
So the thing that keeps permeating in my mind is give yourself permission. I had to give myself permission because I have not quit my corporate job. I have given myself a 4-year countdown to age 50.
Okay.
On my 50th birthday, I intend to walk in and give my 2 weeks notice because I have replaced my corporate income in abundance. And I had to give myself that permission. Permission to still be excellent at my job, to be excellent as the owner of Cocoa Buttery, to be excellent as a wife, as a mother, as a friend, as a daughter. But I've got to continue to give myself permission to do those things. The only person who can see my vision is me.
That's right.
It's to me. And if I don't give myself permission to achieve my dreams or to follow my path, no one else can give it to me. I got to give it to me. So I say that to you ladies. Don't be afraid of your art. Don't be afraid of your excellence. Don't be afraid of your power. Give yourself permission to be great.
That was a whole word. We in here tearing. Look, we got the water in it. Somebody cutting onions in the other room. It's a whole word.
That's
what about
real.
you, Allie?
It's so real hearing you talk about humble bragging and having anxiety to come on and just identify yourself as an artist. The thing that I think I have fought with the most is just imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Oh, that's real.
It's so real, and it's something that, you know, society teaches you to be comfortable with every day. They want you to feel like an imposter. They want you to be uncomfortable in your own skin and unable to claim your own power. Which is very true. I feel like I'm just starting to get to a place where I'm finding the courage to be like, I am awesome, I am talented, I am all of those things, and you need to recognize it or that will cost you.
Wow. So, like, what I'm hearing is that all of us, every day, have to kind of jerry-rig ourselves into the life that we actually want to live. And it's not, you know, it doesn't matter how we came up. It doesn't matter what we're into, what we do. We all are fundamentally artists. And we're fighting for our art. We're fighting to leave that piece of us that was with us since we were born, and we kind of lost our way from it, and we're finding our way back to it. We all, that's what we share in this journey, finding our way back to our art, to our soul. And maybe art is soul. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we know that we're aligned when we are our most creative.
That's what our ancestors knew as well. I believe that.
That's real. And the fact that, come on now, we about to talk about the Matrix here. The fact that society, we'll just call it society, with rabbit ears, spends so much energy trying to tell us how our art and artistry is not important. For a reason, because once we find our soul, we get off of the hamster wheel. And we no longer feed the beast. We no longer, you know, crave the yellow brick road, if you will, to find the wizard. Because we realize that that is the lie. We're not on a vision quest to find the wizard. We've had the power all along.
That's so true, because I feel like so much of it is this message that you need to be empowered, that someone else or something needs to give you power, but you have had it all along. You just have to claim it for yourself.
That's right. True. Don't let people sell you what you are already. I say that all the time.
That's what we talk about in Auntie Kim's living room, writing your own narrative. Don't let people tell you who you are. Don't let them stifle who you are. It took me a long time to get to that, but I had to trust in myself first.
But that's a process.
I had to know I could. Yeah, I'm 62, honey. I've been working on this since I was 12 or 13, 14. And there's nowhere to get to. You're right here. Just follow the steps.
We can just stop the show right there. Because we always are looking for that thing that's right there.
If this happens, I'll get it. If this happens, I'll be that. If this it's already here. You just have to cultivate it, nurture it. That's what self-care is so important. Self-care is urgently important, because you can't do a thing if you don't have you. And a whole spirit, whole mind. Good, whole. It's about the wholeness.
There's no complete me, boo.
That's right.
What were you about to say, Jen? It sounded like you were about to say something.
I was about to say, just especially as women, we're always putting everyone before our own needs, and I can't do this for me because I have to do that for them.
True.
And you can't continue to do that for them if you're not doing this for me.
Right.
I have nothing to give you if I haven't given to myself first. And so many times we do not, again, give ourselves the permission to do something for ourselves. Why can't you take 2 hours out of a week to do something just for you, without having to check in with your significant other or your children or your friends or your social media or whatever? Can you have 2 hours of silence to do something just for you so that you can protect your own mind, body, and spirit, and then go back and do all the things that you're obligated to do? But if you don't stop, how are you going to help anyone else if you're not helping yourself?
That's a word. And this has been church. This is like Friday night lounge at church. We're gonna go pay these bills. You are listening to Friday Night at The Lounge. I'm Envy McKee. That's DJ Frosty Phoenix. On the phones, we have Cocoa Buttery founder Jennifer Jones. We have Allie Hickson. She is a media. She's fabulous in media. She's a writer, producer. She's all of the things. You know what I'm saying? In the studio, we have Auntie Kim. We have artist Keeves. What a show. We're talking about the art of being brave. And so if you're interested, you're welcome to call in and, you know, talk about your story of bravery. How did you, you know, what is your process? Are you panicking now? Are you going through right now one of those weird things where you don't know who you are anymore and you trying to find your way back, or you think that you're looking for a way back? Let's talk about it. 215-634-8065, 866-361-0900. It's 900 AM 96.1 FM WURD. We'll be right back.
Don't miss the Electric Magazine Show, hosted by Cody Anderson and Vicky Leach. Saturday mornings from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. Exclusively on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
If money is tight, you need to call 800-34-HELP-4 and get your PICO bill paid right now. Cash in on LIHEAP, a government program that could pay up to $1,000 cash grant toward your bill, but funds are limited. Call 800-34-HELP-4 right now.
Support independent black media and join the Forward movement now at 215-425-7875 or visit wordradio.com.
The Mattress Man is a second-generation family business. They're open 7 days a week and are located at 7421 Stenton Avenue. You deal directly with the owner, Julian, to ensure the best quality and prices on name-brand mattresses like Sealy, Posturepedic. Mattress Man discounts Serta, Memory Foam, Orthopedic, and Comfortech. Same-day delivery is available on most models to most areas. All of the mattresses are brand new, nothing refurbished. Call 215-424-5550. That's 215-424-5550.
In Philadelphia, everyone is reading and talking about this year's Free Library One Book, One Philadelphia featured selection, Sing Unburied Sing. Jesmyn Ward's National Book Award-winning novel is a haunting and haunted American road trip through Mississippi's past and present. Young adult and children's youth companion selections include Ghost Boys by Jewel Parker Rhodes and Last Stop on Market Street by Matt De La Pena. One Book, One Philadelphia features programming for all ages through March 13th. Details at freelibrary.org/onebook.
Getting help for addiction is not easy. Now there's a place you can turn. The Addiction Resource Center is a free tool for those suffering from substance use disorders, their loved ones, and caregivers to easily find the support they need. If you are struggling with substance use or worried about a loved one who is, find support at addictionresourcecenter.org. Again, that's addictionresourcecenter.org. Paid for by the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America.
What's going on? This is Asher Roth, and you're listening to The Lounge on Word Radio.
Like a song from one to another, I feel so right inside when ideal comes to me about you, and I know that you feel the same when you hear my song for you. Like one song to another, my love is designed uniquely for you. Each word you hear is from my heart, and that's why you feel this the way you do. I need you. All I ever needed was a subject. 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 Oh yeah. know. But at any rate, things change. I must adapt and keep pace. There's another side to you behind that sweet face. It's all love. It's all lust, though. Your belly button abs, your thighs, your legs, your ass, your innocence, your sweetness, your aphrodisiality, intimate. I studied your curves to fold, like an artist to subject I hold, a creation derived from you. You're welcome, lady. Thank you. Subject. All I ever need was a 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 subject. My woman, you was a subject. All I ever need 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 was a subject.
Yes. Welcome back to Friday Night at the Lounge. My name is Envy McKee, DJ Frosty Phoenix, on the ones and twos, my producer. I love you. I want you to know this, Eric. You are loved. I love the work that we do together. Thank you. I know, because I talked bad about him on the air, but it wasn't really bad. It was just joking. You know what I'm saying? It was just jokes. I told you we're fighting. But he's cheating on me.
I don't
so
know
I
if
just
he's
feel
forgiven
like
you yet,
he
though,
hasn't.
from that.
He hasn't. He hasn't. He hasn't. 215-634-8065-866-361-0900. I know this is one of those conversations that you almost want to just voyeur, because there's so much stuff going on. I mean, in powerful, it's a word church going on in this conversation. We have Keeves here. We have Auntie Kim here. We have Jennifer Jones. We have Allie Hickson. Like, we're really, like, we were talking behind the scenes about how complicated it is to be brave. Like, even with all of the technology that we have, even with you, it seems that, you know, we're in a high-tech, low-touch society, and everybody's more self-centered than ever. Everybody's always putting their stuff, you know. But I feel like that is a ruse. Mm-hmm. The people that are actually doing the work are not the ones that you're really seeing doing the work. Because I mean, I'm coming to this realization because I struggle with it myself. I should promote myself more. And, you know, I wrote 3 books in 3 years called the Stellar Trilogy, and it was a spiritual journey. I did not want to write a self-help book, so I wrote what I call soul-fi. It is sci-fi that feeds the soul, right? And so, you know, I wrote this story about a woman figuring out how to be brave in this new life that plopped in her lap. She didn't know that she was a star person. She thought she was just regular. She forgot.
Yeah.
And then an angelic stepped into her path to remind her, and she fought the process. She fought it. And so the story is about Kai really unlearning all the stuff she came to learn from abuse, from trauma, and we didn't really get into, we just got the glaze over version of her abuse and her trauma, what caused her to forget. And so I'm writing book 4 now, which is part of the series that's coming after. And we're starting to learn, you know, the expanded versions of some things. If we understand how a spiritual journey works, like, really, you just have to take a step. You're not going to get all of it in the beginning. So, you know, sometimes it just looks like an inspiration, a pop or something. You just take a step in the direction of where, you know, guidance is leading. And then it starts to, you know, spread out. And the more you walk, the more it spreads out. And so I feel like that story was powerful for me. You know, I took the journey. I took the road. I didn't have an outline. You're talking about 1,000 pages in 3 books that I did not have an outline. I had to just trust that Spirit was going to guide this process. It was a download. You hear me? That took tremendous bravery. And I wasn't even into, at the time when I started, into the airy fairy that deep. I was into yoga a little bit, but you know, I wasn't. It was not like I didn't live this, but there was a phrase that kept coming through to me that said, God does not call the qualified, he qualifies the called. I don't want to be a guru. I have no interest in being, you know, a spiritual teacher or any of that stuff. I tell people, rule yourself, be your own guru. We can be guideposts for each other, but I'm not here to be, you know, be that one thing. No, boo, you have to.
That's right.
I tell people all the time, your work is in the mirror. You want to change the world, fix that. Fix that reflection. What you say?
We have a part of Auntie Kim's living room where there's a panel, a beautiful cloth that Makiba supplied, that you do your mirror work. You sit there and write your own narrative of who you are.
Listen.
Not who they say you are.
Listen.
What you don't like about yourself, demolish it and start a new narrative. Build yourself up. I never liked my feet, so every morning I get in the mirror and tell my feet how beautiful they are. I always thought my nose was too big. I'm learning to love myself. When I was beautiful and thin and a California babe, I didn't feel beautiful. I was wounded and broken and unhealthy and angry. And now at 62, the boobs aren't where they used to be, and neither is anything else. But I'm the best me I've ever been.
You need to, see this woman, how gorgeous she is. I don't even know I don't even understand, like, just.
But you know, we always, even about being an artist, I still have that little bird on my shoulder from my family telling me you'll never be anything. Who do you think you are? You know, family, friends, people that, rather than encouraging you, looked at you and said, I see who you are, you can't do this or that. I still have that little antagonistic thing on my shoulder. So it's challenging every day. And I don't want people to think you get a certain age and things get beautiful. They don't. You have to make them beautiful every day. I believe in a miracle every second. Because if I didn't, I'd be suicidal.
What were you going to say, Jen?
I wish that you would have had the pleasure of knowing the father that has raised me, because I remember my father saying to me once, other people's opinions of you is none of your business.
That's the truth, though. I've heard that, too, yes.
So somebody telling you in the back of your mind 20, 30, 40 years ago that you can't do something, that ain't none of your business what they think you can't do. They're projecting what they can't do onto you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm looking at you on Facebook Live.
Right? But I think where it gets tricky, though, is when your family, the people closest to you,
and the people who are supposed to love you.
The people who are supposed to love you,
for support,
and they're the ones that are telling you that you can't and who do you think you are and all that stuff. I think it confuses you because, you know, you start to get your reaffirming, if you will, from strangers.
Absolutely.
You know, that's when we start getting into the kinds of people that we bring into our lives as generational curses, we'll call this. You know, where we start creating a kind of karma.
Come on.
Where we still, you know, we have issues with our mother, so we date our mother.
That's
we
right.
have issues
That's
with our
right.
father, so we date our father.
right.
And we don't even realize we're doing it.
Or,
you know, we can't talk about this with those people, so we working it through, and then, you know, add on to it that in the black community specifically, we have this issue with mental health.
Come on.
Where we will not. You're strong.
That's
and I always felt like it had something to do with chattel slavery.
Absolutely.
How we had to, you know, and I believe in pain bodies. Like there is a, if you think about from a black standpoint, there's kind of like a, it's like a, it is an intangible tangible. That it's kind of like they call Eckhart Tolle calls it a pain body, where it's like it's a collective wound, it's a collective trauma that actually is like a symbiosis. We have a symbiotic relationship with it that we can't actually see, but we each have a piece of it.
Yes,
and it feeds off of our fear and our doubt and our worry, and it just kind of like it sucks us dry. You know, do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I feel like all of these things, it's really hard to get over the hurdle. It's really like it's a lot of work to be brave when you have all of that other stuff.
Absolutely. And we don't talk about our trauma.
We don't talk about it.
And we're shamed by our trauma.
Don't
some
say
of the
nothing.
things. That's right. And how many black households have you heard?
You about
What
to say-
goes in my house stays in my house.
Don't air our dirty
That's
laundry.
right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we stay sick. We stay sick. It's generational trauma, generational secrets.
Until we say,
That's
enough
right.
is enough. It
That's
ends
right.
with me.
Absolutely.
It ends with me. So we have to take this break. You are listening to Friday Night at the Lounge. We're talking about the art of bravery here today. And it's complicated. This conversation is complicated, but I feel like the more we continue to have these conversations in public forums, the more we'll be able to be brave enough to have different outcomes. I say this about 1,000 million times. Faith is a science that is quantifiable by outcomes. If you don't like what you're getting, you have to start putting different inputs in. Come on, somebody. You're listening to WURDradio.com, 900 AM, 96.1 FM WURD. We'll be right back.
Support independent black media and join the Forward movement now at 215-425-7875 or visit wordradio.com.
It's savory, it's buttery, it's cheesy. It's the Sausage McMuffin with egg. Made with a freshly cracked egg on a toasted and warm English muffin. And now all that goodness is only $2. And to make your morning even better, add a small McCafe French vanilla latte for just $2 more. But hurry in, because this deal is only for a limited time. Get a delicious breakfast for less on McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
In America, the zip code you're born into can determine your future. If this baby was born a couple miles away, his chances of dropping out of school skyrocket. Born 5 miles farther, his chances of experiencing violent crime rise. But just one town over, his chances at a healthier life improve. At the Y, our programs help all kids thrive, no matter where they're from. Support your local Y at ymca.net/for-a-better-us.
This Black History Month, the Kimmel Center for the Performing Arts pays homage to Alvin Ailey, choreographer extraordinaire, activist, and founder of the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater.
Popularizing modern dance around the world with his multiracial modern dance ensemble, Ailey became acclaimed as one of the leading figures in 20th century modern dance. Born in Rogers, Texas, his motivation to dance was inspired after seeing a performance by the Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo. After many travels with his company around the world, Ailey ceased his performances in the mid-1960s. However, his passion for choreography continued with numerous masterpieces, including Masakela Language, which probed the parallels between South African apartheid and the race-induced violence of 1960s Chicago. In 1989, Ailey died in New York City at the age of 58. However, his legacy continues to live through incredible performances by his founding company.
This celebration of African American history is brought to you by the Kimmel Center for the Performing Arts. Visit kimmelcenter.org.
It's 6:42 p.m. Time for Steve Plotto and his son Dylan to do the dishes. They talk about everything from the yuckiness of girls to the awesomeness of his soccer team. Sometimes they don't talk at all. Then, hey! The dreaded splash fight. It's Dad o'clock, and it's the best time of the day. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Celebrating Black history all day, every day. Medgar Evers.
All we want you to do is keep going with this fight for freedom. When we get this unity, ladies and gentlemen, nothing can stop us.
This is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Philadelphia, independent black media.
It's something you and I have something. How I long to be in common. Oh, it's something when you can see that. And I'm sure of one thing, how I long to be around when you can see that you and I have something in common. It's been a revelation, yeah, yeah. You've been an inspiration to me, and there is not one question, no, no, where my heart will run to. Ooh, it's something. You and I have something. I don't want to lose this fun thing when you can see that you and I have something in common. I can't believe we've been so blind. Looks like we've wasted so much time. There's not a doubt that rings untrue. Said when I'm with you and I, you and I. So don't when I don't dance on never something in common. Seguro na yo puedo de. Seguro na puedo de puedo
Hey, this is Bianca Ingram, and you are listening to The Lounge on Word Radio.
Layla Hathaway. And that's Snarky Puppy. What? Welcome back to Friday Night at the Lounge. My name is Evie McKee, DJ Frosty Phoenix. In the studio, we have Keebs, we have Auntie Kim on live via satellite in California. We have Allie Hickson and Jennifer Jones. Ladies, we're going to have to cap this up because we got Ty Lepley from the Haves and the Have-Nots calling in.
Mm-hmm.
And while I feel like this is one of those conversations that we need to have live, and we need to have, you know, in a space where we have some time. Maybe there's a symposium or a forum we can create.
Well, that's also what we do in Auntie Kim's living room. This is almost the exact
Oh, is
conversation
it really?
that
This
we
is
have.
it? That is
specifically healing from intergenerational trauma.
Wow.
And how you do that.
This is it.
So tell us, Auntie Kim, where are we going on Sunday? Because it's the last day and it's going to be packed, and I know it's going to be sold out because it's sold out. Do it.
It's sold out. We'll be at Vox Populi Gallery. Vox Populi is on 11th Street between Vine and Callow Hill.
319 North 11th.
319, yes. North 11th Street. Third floor from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. We're going to have light snacks and conversation and poetry on...
You the snack. We don't need no snacks.
Oh, I love that. I love it. But I cook
You are
a little
food.
bit,
Like
too.
I don't think you understand. You are like manna for the soul. Your whole energy. That's that Sag stuff.
Yeah. But I do a little cooking sometimes. Last week we had black beans, chipotle curry, chicken salad. I do a lot of little things. So yeah, you know, we gotta eat. You gotta eat spiritually and physically.
Love this. And what about you, Keeps?
I will be there. I'm the curator of the
always there,
space.
yeah.
So it's and I also will be in conversation with Hakeem, Miss Kim, and we will have a black. She's a therapist. Yes. A black woman therapist to moderate the conversations and sort of put things into context and make our experiences, turn those into practical tools that you can use on your own time. So you don't necessarily have to be in the room. We will be putting out a toolkit to help folks.
Oh, that's dope.
Deal with that individually. But if you want to be a part of that conversation, a part of like putting that together, then you should definitely come out on Sunday.
And
But
we'll
how
be
do people... Oh, go ahead. No, go.
I was going to say, and we'll be hosted as well by Cassie Owens of the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so she'll be there as well.
Nice. So that's Sunday.
That's
this
Sunday.
at the Vox
Populi Gallery.
Vox Populi Gallery. It keeps. Where can people start their collection of your fantastic, excellent, brilliant work?
Hey, I'm on Instagram at just Keebs. In my Instagram bio is a link to my Etsy shop, and that is where you can make your purchases.
Wouldn't that be dope if we all decided that we were all going to have black living rooms with all of Keebs' art around the thing, and that just becomes like Sunday dinner is like, this is what we doing. This is what the star people do.
That's
this is what
powerful.
right?
When you said that in your where you eat,
where you break bread with your family and friends,
or in a bedroom.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Look, I ain't dead. I'm just older.
This freak down is about to go down. You know what I'm saying? Jennifer.
Yes.
Cocoa buttery lotion.
Cocoa Buttery. You can find us at cocobuttery.com. COCOBUTTERY.com. And on Instagram, we had to add lotion because Cocoa Buttery is taken. When I manifest enough money, I'm going to buy her next.
That's right.
It. I love it.
That's right. And what about you, Allie?
You know, follow my girls at Unbothered, at R29 Unbothered on Instagram.
Yeah, but your pictures are dope, too. Like, you got a blue check mark.
Pictures.
Huh?
Okay, you just had to tell everybody about my blue check mark.
How can I get one? How can I be down?
I'm like, when are you going to make me some more pies? What I got to do to get these pies that you make every time I come home for a family gathering?
Well, ma'am, well, look, we'll do a trade.
The barter system.
Yeah, we'll do a trade, cousin. You know where I live. So, you said follow your girls at, what did you say?
At R29 Unbothered on Instagram.
Okay. So, any final thoughts? We got like 5 more minutes. Any final thoughts? Is there anything that you guys want to leave? I'm going to do the California folks first because I can't see their faces. This is like double Dutch going blind.
Go ahead, Allie. You go first.
Okay, I'll go first. Well, I mean, I'm just grateful to even be part of this conversation because I feel like just to talk about bravery is something that you don't get to do. You don't get to have conversations like this. So it's been exciting. It's been thrilling. It's been nourishing. So thank you.
Yeah, thank
you.
And I think maybe the biggest takeaway for me is, you know, you have to have the courage to claim the life that you want and make the changes that you want. I'm still young. I'm still learning that, but it's been the biggest learning that I've had in the last year. So yeah.
Beautiful. And what about you, Jen?
Well, first, I want to say thank you for inviting me.
Of course. You guys are welcome anytime, by the way. You're anytime. We here every Friday from 7 to 10. Huh?
I'm coming home to sit in the studio with you. But before I say anything else,
Yeah, I don't want to do this over the phone. I want to sit there.
Come on.
Right? But, Envy, can we just take a minute and applaud you for your journey? Because I've known you since we were 15 years old.
Right.
And you go from where we started to where you are, and everything in between has been such an amazing thing to see as a friend, as a sister, and just watching you get to where you are and just shine so brightly. I love you embracing your blessing.
Thank you.
What I am taking away from this is to practice what I preach. So anything that I say to someone else, I also need to do those things for myself. And I applaud each one of you for the bravery that you have shown and that you have taken advantage of and that you are exuding as we make examples for the other women around us and continue to be empowering to other women, primarily black women, because we need each other so badly, especially right now in these crazy, crazy times. So I just want to say thank you. And anyone who's listening, please take a chance on cocobuttery.com. Well, thank you.
I need to re-up myself.
Yes, well, you know where to find us, cocobuttery.com. But thank you, ladies, and good luck on your exhibit for the rest of the weekend, too.
Yes. What about you, Keeps?
My biggest takeaway from tonight is something that I don't practice myself, is self-care, and just in the midst of all the things that we're doing, creating the lives that we want to live, you definitely you should take a break. You should rest. That is important. So just so you don't burn out and you can continue to keep doing all the things.
Come on, Mama.
My takeaway is that we're all living our dreams, attempting to, fighting struggles, but don't let them rob you of your bubbles. Just don't, you know? Like I said, our ancestors ate rocks so we could spit diamonds. And I'm going to live like that every day. I have to remind myself of that every day. I wrote it, but I have to live it.
Can you please, pretty please, with sugar on top, Keeps, can you make sure that happens?
No, absolutely, yes.
I need a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
I need a T-shirt. I need a something that says our ancestors ate rocks so we can spit. I need that because I will rock that. I need that. Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is powerful, powerful. You guys don't have to leave, by the way.
And you can find me on Instagram, Auntie Kim.
Oh, I didn't ask you that?
Auntie KYM.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I do have to say that. Auntie KYM.
Y'all don't have to go nowhere. We just, you know, do you watch the Haves and the Have-Nots?
I do not have.
Of course I do.
So great. This is good.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions for Ty Lepley? Anything you want me to ask him specifically? I'm talking to you. Oh, you took them off? Oh, Jen and Allie, do you have any questions for Ty? I don't know if he's single.
I would want to know what is Ty gaining as a person from the character that he plays.
You writing that down?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. What about you, Allie?
I don't know. That was a really good question.
That was a question from all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'll ask him that. So we're going to go to break now? Yeah. So, okay. Thank you, ladies. I know you guys are about to start your day or start your weekend now, because if on this side it's like, oh, it's time for bed. On that side it's like, oh my God, it's only 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's time for wine.
I know that's right.
Well, go have your wine. Thank you for being here. I love you. I appreciate you, and I can't wait till you guys are in town so you can be in the studio live.
Love you back, and congratulations.
Love you.
Thank you. Love you guys. We'll talk later, okay? All right, so this is Friday Night at the Lounge. I'm Envy McKee. That's DJ Frosty Phoenix in the studio. We have Keeves. We have Auntie Kim. When we come back from break, Tyler Lepley from the Have and the Have-Nots shouts be calling in. Let us pray, because he is a busy man. But we've been talking throughout the day, so he knows that this is going down. So we good. All right. You are listening to WURD 900 AM 96.1 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't miss the